folks. This live stream is brought to you by my sponsor AAA FX. Now, they're a fully regulated broker in Europe and South Africa, offering Forex indices, commodities, crypto, and over 100 stocks. Now, at AAA FX, you pay no commission on any Forex pair using their ECN Plus account and low commissions on cryptos and stocks. Plus, you can deposit with cash or crypto, get a free VPS with deposits over 5K, and easily integrate the well-known copy trade service Zulu Trade. While you're waiting for the stream to start, go and check them out by clicking the link in the description, comments, or visit AAAFX.com.
Hello everyone, hope you're doing good. Happy to be back here. Thank you so much, Cam, for the opportunity again and again. Let me share my screen real quick. I guess you can see my screen now. You've got the XY chart. Please, for those who are already live, let me know if you can see it properly. Jameson, hope you're doing good. Happy to see you here. So as usual, we'll go over the Forex pairs first, starting with the XY to feel the overall market, and then I'll be going over the indices, last but not least, the crypto market. I'm going here like once every month at the beginning of if you want, the first Tuesday of every month. So that's why I'll be focusing on on the higher time frames and on many markets to prepare yourself for a new month. So last month was wild for those who already know and have been actively trading. Tukur, thank you for the confirmation. Ben, happy to see you here. Glad you are good. USD, of course, we'll go over USD. It's the most traded Forex pair, just right after the XY, which is usually the opposite of the XY. AB, fantastic. And EURUSD, I don't have it, but I'll try to add it, okay? So let's do it as usual. For those who know me, cheers. For those who don't know me, who are watching the recording or now live, my name is Richard, also known as the Signalist on TradingView. You can check my profile right there. Okay, you can go for TradingView/u/the Signalist, and you will find my profile. This is my official website, my YouTube channel, and my Telegram channel, where I forward everything, the educational stuff from YouTube and the analysis from TradingView there. So, I've been here multiple times previously, so let's do it. Let's start with the XY monthly chart. First, let me check everything's working properly. Gold, of course, Troy. Hello, Troy. Hope you're doing good. And the XY. Okay, so I can see Tukur requesting everything. So if you want to, someone else wants to request, let's go for it. I can see the Tukur is very excited, which is great. Of course, Tukur, EURUSD, DXY, and USDJPY, I try to add it, of course. So on DXY, we can see that we have been trading inside this big channel. For those who knew me from the previous episodes or on TradingView, I've been mentioning this demand zone for a while. Since here, we have been looking for a sell or for a rejection around this upper bound of this channel. And now we're around a very strong zone, which is the intersection of a previous resistance, current support now, and also this demand zone. If you zoom in a little bit, we can see that's the demand and aggressive movement upward from. If we break it downward, the next rejection or demand would be around this area, lining up with the support around 96 and the lower trend line in brown. But for now, let's take it step by step. We are experiencing or in the middle of a shift in momentum from bullish to bearish, and it would be an overextended correction. If we zoom into weekly time frame, We can see that after this big impulse movement, after breaking above this high, we have been bullish, making higher lows and higher highs until we broke below these major lows. So now that's why I said that we had a shift in momentum from a medium-term perspective. Of course, from a long-term perspective, we are still overall bullish, trading inside this big channel. We can see it even better from daily time frame. After we broke below this low, we have been trading lower. And lately, we have been trading lower inside this channel. And due to NFP on Friday, for those who remember, we had this bullish movement. It's still a correction movement inside this channel. So impulse, correction, impulse, and we are currently here. That's why we're expecting one more bearish impulse, which might result in a higher low, which would mean that it's an early alert that a potential reversal might happen to have a deeper bullish correction. And like I'm personally speculating, if we have this break, we'll be expecting this movement till this previous low and high, also a supply zone which isn't filled yet. But for now, let's take it step by step. We are still overall bearish, and we are currently around the upper trend line, lining up with these lows right there. If you zoom into H4 time frame, we can see the view in a better way. After a correction here, we had another impulse movement to push lower, and this movement reminds me very much of this movement. So now we're in a correction and we'll be expecting this movement. I'm personally speculating a short term, like if you want a higher low, okay, before we see a break above it and so on. But anyway, let's focus on the current price action. And if you zoom in even lower on H1, we can see that we've got this low. So to have this rejection, to reject these previous lows from daily and the trend line, we need the bears to take over. And by taking over, we would be seeing a break below this and then this. So after breaking below this low, the bears would take over from a short-term perspective, and it would be even confirmed after breaking below this low. In this case, I'll be expecting a movement till this demand zone, making a higher low, as I mentioned previously. So this is the movement I'm expecting if and only if we break below this and then below this. Expect this. Meanwhile, of course, we are bullish. We can still go and stop inside the range before breaking below a low, or even we can still break this trend line upward and keep on trading higher and higher till around the major high from daily time frame. Okay, so like this is basically it. This is why I always start from I always start like my overview with the XY to feel what's happening currently in the market. Tukur, sure sir. Barry, gold, of course, gold is always on my watch list, always in every single session. So the exact opposite of the XY is obviously EURUSD. We can see that we had a falling channel on the XY. Let me show you real quick. Okay, so this is the rising channel on EURUSD, which is almost the opposite of the XY, the falling one. So we'll be looking for the exact opposite. So we'll be looking for buy setups around the lower bound, correction started. Now we'll be speculating another impulse, and I'm speculating just like the XY, a bullish movement till this supply zone, lining up with this weekly resistance. And then I'll be looking also for sell setups around this area. For now, while looking for buy stops here, unless it's broken downward, in this case, expect a movement till this demand, which is the lower bound of this bigger support zone from weekly time frame, which is this support right there. If we zoom in even lower, we can see that we have been bearish, and like this is where we had the NFP. For the push to take over and thus to enter the buy, I want to break above this high. Meanwhile, of course, we will be bearish and we can still trade like this, make new highs here. In this case, I'll be updating my zone and then I'll be waiting for this break. Okay, so this is what I'm waiting for Euro USD. Exactly the opposite on USD, ex-Hedge, which usually follows the movement of the XY. This is the correction we had on the XY. We also had it on USD CHF, and I actually posted this one on TradingView. Let me check, where is it? Yeah, this is basically it. So we've got a resistance right there, and we are currently approaching this resistance. And like you can click on play at any time, and we are currently approaching this area where I'll be looking for trend following sell setups. If you zoom in a little bit on weekly, we can see the resistance very clearly right there. We can even see it better from daily time frame, which is this zone, which I here have it on, like I have it here on H4 time frame. So we've got these previous major highs. I'm looking already for a sell till this demand zone right there, where I'll be looking for a buy around the support and the demand and so on. Meanwhile, of course, until we see this break, which you can clearly see from H1. This is the previous major low. Once we break it downward, we'll be expecting a bearish movement. Of course, I'll be going for a sell, just like this. Like the stop loss would be above the previous major high, and I target at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. I usually target 3R, but like for the session, let's keep it simple. And let's go for 2R. So I'm waiting for this break, and then I'll be going for a sell, stop loss above the previous high, which might be here, and then we'll be going for the short. And as we approach this demand, which we saw already from daily time frame, I'll be looking for a buy setup right there. Exactly the opposite of USD, looking for a buy, then looking for a sell, and so on. On USDJPY, very similar movement. Okay, you can give me a moment. Okay, let's continue. Cheers. Okay, for USDJPY, we have been looking for a sell around the upper bound. You can always go here and search for it. On filter ideas, you can go for USDJPY, and you will be able to find all my previous analysis right there. And this is the one that I showed you just now around this area. So we rejected the upper bound, we traded lower. If you zoom into weekly time frame, we know that we broke below this major low, and we are currently retesting it, also a resistance zone from monthly time frame. And we have been bearish since then, since we broke below this low. We have been making low lows and lower highs, and we are currently at the end of a correction movement. So I'd be looking for a trend following sell, expecting a movement to the next support zone around 126. Of course, unless we break it upward, right? So on USD, looking for a buy unless we break the channel downward. On the XY, looking for a sell unless we break it upward, and so on. So for this one, we're looking for a trend following sell unless we break the 135 upward. In this case, we'll be seeing or experiencing a shift in momentum from bearish to bullish, and I'll be expecting this movement where we'll be looking for buy setups on the retest as an impulse correction, and then to catch the next impulse movement upward. For now, let's take it step by step. We are still bearish. We are still looking for sell setups. And if I zoom lower to M30, or it's also visible on H1 time frame, this is the last major low that I'm looking for. So by breaking below this low, we would also be seeing USDCHF breaking below a low, EURUSD breaking above a high, and so on. So this is why it's very important to start with the XY to feel the overall market. Very similar to USDCHF, I'll be waiting for this break. Meanwhile, we might be seeing this movement and then trading lower. It would be forming a head and shoulders pattern, just like this. For example, left head and the right shoulder would be here. Of course, the entry is the same logic, just like USDCHF, and I target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio at least. And then we've got this demand zone lining up with the lower bound of this channel. So of course, as we approach it, we'll be looking for buy setups and so on. Let me check the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section and I will be happy to go over it. I guess we still have a couple of Forex pairs Yep, we've got these ones: gold, GP, USDJPY, CHF, JPY, and then we'll be going over the indices, and last but not least, the crypto market. So gold, let's go to daily time frame. Okay, so I don't like this break below this low, because if we zoom a little bit in, we can see that we have been bullish for a long period of time, and during this bullish movement we failed to break below a major low, unlike this one. So it's the first time we break below a major low. We have two possible scenarios, of course, up and down, but like I'm going to show you what I'd be expecting. First, if we see this and then we break below a low again, in this case, I'll be expecting a movement till the 1800. But meanwhile, I'll be looking for this short-term buy around this support and this demand. And if we break it upward, in this case, the bullish trend might resume to push it higher till around the 2K. Okay, but for now, we are inside these two zones. Let's see if we get this break or this break. Okay, this break would get gold to test the 1800. This break would mean that the bulls are like pushing back, but the 1900 is like what I'm looking at for now, and the 1870. So that's why I'll be going for a long for now, and yes, it would be a correction buy. Okay, because of course this is a very strong impulse breaking below these lows. So impulse, a correction buy, and then we might be seeing this. If we see this, expect further bearish movement. Okay, this is it. Very similar to, in this case, EURUSD. Okay, so I'll be waiting for this one to be broken upward. Once we have this break, we can go for a long, and the stop loss would be below the previous low as usual, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward, which would be around this area right there. However, let me zoom in a little. Here we go. However, we have got the 1900. So as price approaches it, of course, like when price reaches 1R, which would be here around 1900, I'll move my stop loss to break even. Okay, so if I see any kind of reversal here, I'll be closing my long. And around this area, I'll move my stop loss to break even. So in this case, if we get this movement, I'll be out on break even. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for gold. Of course, as mentioned previously, unless we break below this zone, we'll be expecting further bearish movement. Terry, do you have any live open trades open? Yes, of course, but not like I don't like to show like the trades that I have. Anyway, I'll show you some if you want. For example, I've got Euro and ZD already, which I'm currently holding. This is why you see it in red. Okay, so this is it. My entry was right there. The stop loss is like to me it was here, and I'm targeting 3R, which is around this area right there. And like if you want, here we go. I'll go to my personal layout, Rich, and I can show it to you there. Okay, perfect. This is USD, and okay, let's wait. Okay, not this one, Rich 2023. That's it. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so my target is 3R, which is this one. Let me try to find another one for you. I'm holding currently. Okay, not this one. I didn't enter yet. GPAUD. I previously had a buy right there, but for now, nothing to mention. EURUSD, I wanted to enter this one, but like I was asleep at this time, so I didn't enter it. But this was a valid one. Like this is why I didn't add it. So like I didn't add like these ones which I already like I'm holding and it's already in profit, because like I don't want to show like a trade which is already done. So I'm trying to show trades that I'm looking for. Okay, so let me check real quick. Waiting for this. Nothing to mention here. I'm waiting for this on CHF-JPY. Waiting for this. The exact same thing we saw. On this one, I'm waiting for this break. Okay, so let me go lower. And can't really say much. Like this one didn't break upward. Like this one broke below the low. I'm holding EURUSD already. I'm waiting for this, which I guess we already have on our watch list. I have it. Yeah, this is it. And what else? Okay, that's it. So this is currently it, I guess. Yeah, I don't remember holding any other ones for now. On USDCHF, I had 2 previous shorts, and yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's it. I don't remember holding any other than EURUSD. Okay, so like of course, for now for this week, that's it. Mimo Noob, US oil, of course, we have US oil. I already have it right there. When I go over the indices, it's right here. Okay, so we'll go over these ones, then US oil. But first, let's get moving with our trades. So GBP USD, of course, very similar to the major pairs, USD pairs. So around this support zone, if we break it down, we'd expect further bearish movement. For now, I'm looking for the buyers to take over to enter the buy. I'm waiting for this break above this zone, which you can clearly see. The exact same logic. I'll be going for a long stop loss below the previous low and a target I wanted to reward, which would be exactly as EURUSD around the supply zone and so on. GBP which I already showed you, I have it from M30 here. I'm waiting for this break now since we had this major low, major high forming. I'll be updating this zone to be right there. So I'm waiting for this break. Meanwhile, GBP can trade lower and lower. I'm looking for a buy because we have been stuck inside a range in the shape of a symmetrical triangle and we are currently around the lower bound of it. So I'll be looking for this long, of course, unless we see a daily candle close below this one. In this case, the bears would take over, breaking below as support. In this case, on the retest of it, I'll be looking for a trend following sell. But for now, as long as we don't break below the zone as a daily candle, a big one, I'll still be looking for buy setups. So this is why I'm looking for this particular break. Okay, last but not least, on CHF JPY, very similar to USDJPY. And like, if you want, I also posted a video analysis for CHF-JPY. Let me find it. Okay, so like this is basically it. I posted it like 23 hours ago. I'm waiting for this break. Okay, yeah, which is on M30, which is this one. That's it. So I'm waiting for this break below this zone, and then I'll be going for a short. Meanwhile, we might be seeing this as a head and shoulders pattern, and then we'll be going for the break as usual, just like the previous ones. The short would be here, the stop loss above the high, and the target I wanted to risk reward ratio, which would be around the low bound of the zone. I'm looking for a sell because we are around a resistance zone. If we break it upward, we'll be expecting a movement till this supply lining up with this trend line, where I'll also be looking for a sell. And if we trade lower from here, I'll be looking for a buy again, just like previously. And then if we break below the zone, the bears will take over from a longer term perspective, and I'll be looking for a sell on the retest. Okay, so this is it. Okay, to cover Nasdaq, of course, US 100, I'll be going over it just like US 500 now. Terry, thanks. Would be nice to see live trading. We can all learn far more than this is. See how you handle trading under pressure. Of course, like Terry, if I get any setup today, like if I get any alert, of course I'll be entering the trade live and show you how to manage it. But like for now, as you see, like I'm only holding Euro and ZT. Okay. Okay. Nice name. Okay, Bali, I'll be going over the crypto market in a bit, just after at the indices. So that's it for the Forex pairs, as you noticed. If you want to go over a specific one, please let me know. Meanwhile, I'll be going over the indices, and if I get any requests from the Forex pairs, I'll be opening this layout again. Okay, now let's go over the indices, which is on this layout. Okay, let me take a sip as a break. Cheers. Okay, so on US 500, we are seeing a long-term shift in momentum from bearish to bullish. We have been trading inside this big falling broadening wedge. And like for those who have watched like the previous series, if you want, you can go back and you can like locate US 500. Like I was speculating that since this low, okay, give me a minute. Since my connection is a bit slow, yeah, because I can see my trading view making a refresh. Let me know if you can hear me well, please, because I guess my connection is a bit slow. On GBP USD, Tukur, we just went over the GBP USD. We went over it here, right? On this layout, this is it. We went over it just now. I'm looking for this buy if we break up over it. Meanwhile, we are bearish and we can still trade lower and lower. Okay, let's move forward with our indices. So as mentioned, the reason why I'm speculating a longer term bullish movement is because we have been trading inside this falling broadening wedge, and if the bears would be still strong and pushing lower, we would be seeing this impulse reaching the lower bound, which, as you can see, didn't happen. Instead, the bears are still in control or remain in control because we had a lower low, however not as strong as a big impulse as before. That's why I've been speculating this, and that when this happened, we knew that it might not make a lower low again because the bears are tired, and I'm expecting, or I was expecting, can see it in the previous ones, a rejection from this support right there. Okay, so price rejected the resistance 41.50, traded lower, and then rejected this demand zone also as support zone around 3.7k. Anyway, let's cover the current price action. We had our impulse, a correction, and we are currently in this impulse movement around the 41.50, which is a massive resistance. You can clearly see it. Support here, resistance here, resistance here, and resistance. So we are currently right there. If you break it upward, we'll be expecting a movement to the 4.3k, which would be the upper bound of this channel, which we are currently trading in. If we get to here, we'll be expecting the bears to take over to start a correction and then trade higher. So we already have a shift in momentum from bearish to bullish, and I'm expecting longer term bullish movement. On H4 time frame, as we approach this lower bound, if we approach it again, which is the previous high and the demand, I'll be looking for a trend following buy. And if we break above the zone, we'll be expecting a bullish movement, further bullish movement till this area, as I mentioned. Okay, on US 500, on Nasdaq, very similar to US 500. So like now you'll see like US 30, GE, and all the indices like look very similar to US 500. Instead here we are trading inside a rising broadening wedge, a flat one, while on US 500 it's a rising channel, which is an even stronger movement. Anyway, If we break above the 13K, we'll be expecting further bullish movement. For now, we are around this resistance zone. And if the bears take over here, we'll be expecting a correction from this area. For the bears to take over to start the correction, we need to see a break below a major low and below the trend line. In this case, we'll be expecting a bearish movement. For now, of course, we are around the resistance, but we are still bullish, as you clearly see. And of course, as we trade a little bit higher, I'll be looking for a small bearish movement or sell setup here, and then a buy setup here around this trend line. And if we break it downward, as mentioned, we'll be expecting a bearish movement. US 30, I can't really say much because this one is stuck inside the range. So US 500 is rising, US 100 is rising, but a little bit flat, while US 30 is stuck inside the range. So of course, for the boost to take over like entirely and keep on pushing higher in an aggressive manner, we need to see a break above the 34K, 34,500. In this case, I'll be looking for a buy on the retest. On H4 time frame, we are currently trading inside this channel. So as we approach the upper bounds, I'll be looking for a sell right there inside this bigger range, just like here, for example, and so on. For now, I can't really say much here. It's a very choppy market. This one reminds me of this one. But I'm looking for this bullish movement to look for a sell on lower time frames. V2, fantastic. Tukur, EURUSD, yes, of course, I'll be going over EURUSD. I forgot, sorry. Joa, right? Okay, how many trades should you do on backtest to see if a strategy is okay? Joa, like you have to go over at least like 100 trades. Like I've personally like over the past like 7-8 years, I've made like over like 2K or 3K like trades, but like 100 like 100 trades in the back that should give you a pretty solid idea about what to do next, and then like while you are while you are entering live, of course, like you have to keep also track of your live trades, and like 100 trades will be enough to get you started. And then when you start, like you also like check your trades and like try to optimize in a way to give the ultimate results. Gold, we went over gold like around 10 minutes ago. So like I don't want to repeat it again because like to save time for other ones. So if you want like after the session ends, you can watch the recording. Okay. Okay, so let's before jumping into GER and US oil, which are the last two for the indices, let me go over EURUSD. I don't have something special on EURUSD, that's why I didn't add it. Instead, I've added, if you remember, GBP/CHF, which is usually like negatively correlated to EURUSD. But anyway, let's go over EURUSD. Okay, on weekly time frame, we have been trading, and if you want, you can start from monthly. So like I always start like from monthly and weekly for the overall view, draw my bigger term or like long-term support and resistance, and then here we go. So weekly and monthly to draw my support and resistance, like the macro ones, to know where I'm standing in the market. I am around a support inside a bigger impulse, or where I'm currently at. And then for the structure, I go for daily and H4, and then for the entries, I go for H1 and M30. So 2, 2, 2. Okay. So from monthly and weekly, we can see that we have been trading inside this big one, right? And if you go to weekly time frame, we have our support and resistance, as you clearly see. We have our first impulse correction, and we are currently inside this bigger impulse movement. If you go to daily time frame, we can see this supply zone right there, and we can also still test the 0.91. I'm currently looking for a trend following buy, especially after breaking above these ones. Previously, I was looking for a sell right there. You can also find it on my trading view, and buy right there around this demand and support. For now, since we broke above this zone, we broke above a high, we had our high, and it's an impulse movement. And now I'll be looking for this movement, looking for a sell here, and then I'll be looking for a buy here. This is why I don't have anything to mention for now. Because I always wait for the price to approach a rejection, or more like at the end of the impulse, at the end of the correction, to look for setups, and not in the middle, or like of the movement, or in the middle of nowhere. In my opinion, this area here is in the middle of this channel. I'm waiting for the upper bound of it lining up with the supply, or the lower bound of it lining up with the support. But anyway, let's zoom into lower time frames. Here's the view. Can't really say much on this one. Yep, I can't really say much. We previously had the impulse after breaking above this major high, which you can clearly see also from H1. Okay. Okay, can you hope you're doing good? I've already covered gold, so like when the session ends, you can watch like the recording. The bash we up, yes. Gold, yeah, okay, gold. Okay, for Armin, USD CAD, and EURUSD for Tukur. I already mentioned EURUSD. It's right there. EURUSD and what? What's next? Okay, hello Fitri, hope you're doing good. US30, I just covered US30. As you clearly see, it's right there on the chart now. It was right there. Okay, on EURUSD, as mentioned, I personally didn't catch it, but you could have entered a sell right there after breaking below this low, just like previously here. And for now, let's go over the bigger view. So we're currently around this resistance zone and speculating a bearish movement, especially if you break below this low. And then around this area here, which is the support zone, we'll be looking for buy setups around this support right there. Just like previously, I've been looking for a buy right here. If you break this one upward, I'll be expecting a movement till this upper bound intersection of these two trend lines, upper bound of this brown and upper bound of this red trend line, lining up with this big supply, which you can also zoom in and see it in a better and smaller manner. If you break it upward, I'll be looking for a sell right there as well. And as we trade lower, I'll be looking for a buy right there. We are currently trading inside this range in the shape of an ascending or big flat ascending triangle. Last one for the Forex, USD CAD. I don't really have much to say about USD CAD. We are currently around the support zone. If you break it downward, we'll be expecting further bearish movement till this lower bound of this channel impulse correction, and we are currently in this impulse. Okay, so like we are currently bearish trading inside this channel, so I'd be looking for a sell right there. But to me, USD, USDCHF, and the remaining ones which I covered today, like all the USD pairs, I prefer them better than USD CAD, because on USD CAD we are currently around a support zone from weekly time frame. Okay, but anyway, if we break below this low, the bears would, I guess I have my zone. No, I don't have it. So that's it. If you break below this low, expect further bearish movement. You can go for. I'm personally going to skip USD count, and like I'm going to go over like the remaining USD pairs. But anyway, you can go for this sell, stop loss about the previous high, which is here, and so on. And as mentioned, if we break below this zone, I'll be looking for a sell on the retest and expecting this. And if we trade higher, I'll be looking for a sell right there. Okay, you're more than welcome. Tukur, do you trade stocks, sir? Yes, I trade Forex, crypto, and stocks. So my watch list is also right there. So if you want to go over a specific one, let me know. So this is it, my stocks. Where we were here, we were on, that's this one. Okay. Gold. So everyone's asking about gold. Wow. So you know what? Since I've done gold previously, I'll do it again, but like I'll do it quickly. Okay. Because like many of you like just joined and didn't like couldn't see it. So on gold, that's it. We are currently stuck inside these two support resistance. I don't like how we broke below this low, because it's the first time we break a major low for a long period of time since 1620, and we broke below it. So we might be seeing a longer term shift in momentum till the next support around 1800. However, for this one to be to become valid, we need to see a break below these lows. If we break it downward, I'll be looking for a sell on the retest. Because for now we had our first impulse breaking below a major low, and meanwhile, since we are around the 1870 and around this lower trend line acting as a non-horizontal support, I'll be looking for a correction buy. So on H1, I'll be looking for this buy. However, as I mentioned, as you can see it from the risk reward tool, that I'm keeping an eye on the 1900. If and only if we have this break, I'll be going for a long position. So a little bit in, and that's it. You can even see it better on M30. So I'll be going over for a short-term buy, and I usually target 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. But anyway, like no matter which is my target, which is the first one is around 2R and around 3R. I'll be moving stop loss to break even as price approaches the 1900, because we might be seeing this movement breaking below the zone. Okay, because the 1900 is now the previous major low, which you can clearly see here. Okay, so this is for gold. Like we did it twice today. Sure, Armin, you are more than welcome. Let's check out Tesla. Okay, let's do Tesla, but after we finish the indices. So like we'll finish the two remaining indices, GER 40 and US oil. And then we'll go over Tesla, and then last but not least, we'll go over the crypto market. Okay. Let me take a sip as a break. Cheers. Okay, seems my connection is a little bit slow, because like it's taking time to load the charts. Let me know if you can hear me well. Okay. Okay, dear Kimbo Matt Slice. Hi, hope you're doing good. Endless love, fantastic, dear. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Jonathan, sounds good. Thank you for the confirmation. Let's continue. So GR40, we have been bearish, very similar to US 500 and so on, and now we are bullish. We had our first impulse, a correction, and we are currently in the next impulse movement. We can see it very clearly, the upper bound here, which is around, as you can see, the 16K, around the all-time high, at least from this ticker, or the highest point since 2015. Anyway, this 16K is lining up with this upper trend line, as you can see in brown. So of course, as we approach it, I'll be looking for a sell. For now, to me, that's for my trading plan. I'm not looking for setups on GER because we are in the middle of nowhere. Like for those who already know me, I don't trade in the middle. So I previously was looking for this buy after we broke above this resistance, and on the retest of it, it was a nice catch for the next impulse movement. For now, to me, it's like a skip. If we test this zone, previous high, okay, I can't really draw a straight line. Here we go. Anyway, okay, previous high and the lower trend line, I'll be looking for a trend following buy, and this previous high is lining up nicely with these previous lows, right? So as we retest it, I'll be looking for a buy, and or as we trade higher from here, I'll be looking for a sell. Okay. On US oil, on weekly time frame, we are struggling around the support. If we trade lower, we've got an even stronger support around 60-65, where of course I'll be looking for a buy. And meanwhile, if we break above this 80-85, I will be expecting further bullish movement. This is the view from daily time frame. We are trading inside this bearish flat channel. And if we break above it, we'll be expecting this movement, of course, till these areas. Meanwhile, are stuck inside the range around the lower bound of it. That's why I'll be looking for a buy. And yeah, that's basically it. If we break this zone downward, we'll be expecting a movement till the 65. And okay, after breaking below this low, we have been bearish, right? And we are currently around the upper bound right there of the falling channel. That's it. So now from a short-term perspective, I'll be looking for a short-term sell, okay, because we are still bearish from a short-term perspective. I'll be looking for a short-term sell, but like for now, I can't really say much. If I want to wait for something like this to happen, okay. For example, if we get something like this as a range, we can locate a low and then we can sell on spike downward. But for extra confirmation, I would like to wait for a break below the 75. So like no matter what is formed here. So for example, if we get this low, I will not sell immediately after this low break. I will be waiting for the 75 for extra confirmation, and then I'll be going for a sell. And then as we trade a little bit lower, we'll be looking for a buy. And of course, since we are around a big support from weekly, if we break this one upward on the retest of it, I'll be looking for a buy as well. But first, I want, before looking for a buy right here, because we are around a non-horizontal resistance, I want the buyers to confirm that they are strong enough to make an impulse bigger than the previous impulse movements, which would be like this. In this case, we'll be seeing a shift in momentum, and we'll be looking in this case for impulse correction and an impulse. That's why it's very important to know where you are in the market from a higher time frame before you zoom in. Okay, Tesla, right? On Tesla, I'll have to go to my layout again, and Tesla, okay, Tesla. That's it. Okay, perfect. So we have been trading inside this falling channel, and of course, like just after Tesla, we'll be going over the crypto markets. Okay, we're currently around the 200 resistance zone, and of course, it's also a round number and so on. So 200, 300, 400 around the all-time high, 300 around these major lows and highs, low, high, right? And the 200 to 25 is around this support turned resistance. You know what? Let's draw it real quick. 300 is here, a resistance. 400 is here, and the 225 or 220 right there. Okay. So now for the bulls to take over from a longer term perspective, I would like to see this break. Okay, so I would like to see a bigger correction like this. In this case, on the retest, I'd be looking for a buy. And anyway, even if you didn't have this channel and so on, we already have a resistance here, a supply here. So I would like to see this break. In this case, I'd be looking for a bigger long-term buy setup. Like previously, I've caught Tesla. I caught this buy around the support, around number 100, and so on. For now, as you clearly see, I have my alert right there in case we drop lower. I previously went for this one, I guess from H1. You can see it better. Yeah, that's it. I waited for this break, and then on the retest, I went for a long position. For now, can't really say much. Can't really draw this one. It's broken. If we see any kind of reversal here, for example, if we see a break below this 180, expect a correction to start, where I be looking for a buy right there. Meanwhile, of course, we are bullish, and we can still dive inside the zone till 220, sorry, which is a very strong resistance zone from weekly time frame. If you break it upward, expect further bullish movement. We'll be looking for buy stops on the retest. Okay, like we covered a lot so far, many forex pairs, indices, and the stock. Let's go for the crypto market. Okay, so like for those who would like, I'm posting daily updates for Bitcoin. So yesterday I posted a video one, which is like day 129. Like on Feb 5, which is 2 days ago, I posted this one. Previously, I posted this one, and previously, I've posted this. So let me take you step by step. Sorry. So first, I mentioned that if we break below this low, the bears will take over for a correction, and then here we go. Where is it? So the bears took over and the correction started, and I mentioned that I'll be looking for buy stops around this area, and then I posted this one that we are currently around this area, and I'll be looking for buy stops right there. Here we go. So we tested. Oops, I pressed play here. So we tested the zone, and we are currently rejecting it. And then yesterday I posted this one that previously the bears took over, and now we are looking for the bulls to take over. So now let's update it, right? Here we go. So we're trading inside this like flat rising broadening wedge. Okay, you know what? Let me close the previous ones to like for my connection to be stable. This one is already done. Okay, so this is better. And you know what? I'll close this one as well. Save it. Close it. Perfect. Okay, Armin is asking in my book to have some master candles so we can expect a breakout on Tesla. Am I right? Yes, for the bulls to take over long term, I want a break above 2020. Sorry, I keep on saying 2020 because 220. Okay. Meanwhile, we will be stuck inside a range between 200 and 220. And if we break below the 180, which would be a break below the previous low, we'll be expecting a short term or like anyway the correction to start. Okay. Of course, everyone, if you like the content, like this video to help it reach as many traders as possible. Okay. Let's move forward to Bitcoin. So as mentioned here, if you notice that here we go. So we are still stuck inside this range right there. And I'm waiting for this break for the bulls to take over and to reject this lower bound. Unless if we break it downward, we'll be expecting further bearish movement till the next demand zone around 21K, which is also a previous major high right there. And this major high is 25K, round number, also a resistance. So we are currently in the middle of this resistance and support, and also a demand. If we break these ones downward, expect a movement till this 20K or 20K.5 to 21K. And meanwhile, we are bullish, and the next resistance would be here, lining up with the upper trend line, as you clearly see, of this rising broadening wedge. But for now, we are here. Bulls took over, bears took over, and so on, which you already saw, which is this one. Okay, so the bears took over, and we have been bearish since then. For the bulls to take over again, I need to see this break. In this case, I'll be expecting a bigger bullish movement till the upper bound. This is where we are currently at. Okay, for USDT dominance, I always also keep an eye on it, like to feel the crypto market, which is usually the opposite of Bitcoin. On USDT dominance, we are stuck inside these two support and resistance. If we break this support downward, expect a movement to this resistance, which is also a major low from weekly time frame, which is this one. And yeah, we are currently stuck inside the range. We have been stuck here after this big bearish movement inside this range for a couple of days now. And here we go. It's in the shape of a falling channel. If we break it upward, expect a deeper correction to start. Meanwhile, we are bearish, and if we break below this low, expect a further bearish movement to the next support zone around 5.8%. So that's basically the opposite of Bitcoin. Very similar to Ethereum. We are currently around a resistance zone. Here we go, around this major high, around 1680 to 1700. If you break the 1700, which you can see my alert right there, I'll be expecting further bullish movement. For now, the next support is around 1500. And for the bull to take over again, as mentioned, I want to break above the 1700, which would be around this area like this. Okay. Meanwhile, we are trading inside this bearish channel, and if we approach the lower band of it, of this rising one in red, I'll be looking for a buy. Can't really add much for now. If you want me to go for a specific coin or token or asset, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be happy to go over it. And I still have a big list, but since we got like thousands of coins, I would like to hear if you want to go for a specific one. Okay, Simo is asking how much time spending in screen for analysis and take position. Well, Simo, it depends on your trading plan. It depends on your time. Okay, so like, I always recommend that you create a trading plan and trading strategy depending on your time, right? On your work, on your schedule, and so on. Okay, I personally check the charts only once per day. Okay, like for 30 minutes or like maximum 1 hour if there are many updates. So I check it once per day because like I only trade M30 H1 and above, right? I don't zoom into like M5 and M15. Okay, so like I open my charts, like I if you want I update, or like yeah I update my current position, and for example on EURUSD, like I have the previous high, so I put my alert around the previous high. So now if I'm not on the chart, like when the alert goes off, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I just wait for the candle to close and then I'll be buying. Okay, so I don't need to spend time on the screen. The only time required is to update your charts, which only needs like 31 hour. Okay, okay, Endless Love, do you have like private coaching? Endless Love, okay, I'll be sharing my websites. Okay, give me a second to know how. Okay, so like the first one is the Signalist. Okay, you can clearly see here. Okay, so like if you want to book one-on-one sessions, you can scroll down and you can see it. And if you want like a full course and the community access, you can click for this one, and this is the website richtl.com. Okay, which is this one. Like you will get a private community access, weekly trade setups every weekend, and you get video courses and so on. And it's for $600, but for for those who are like here from Trading Nuts, like as a thanks like for Cam for the opportunity here, use the coupon Trading Nuts, $400 off. Okay, Trading Nut. Okay, so this is it. Like if you used like this coupon for this website only for HTL for the entire course, you'll get $100 off. Okay, someone is requesting a couple of okay, DD Armin, happy to see you happy. Okay, FTM, Gala, GMT, let's do it. Fantastic. Bali Bali. I like your name a lot. I don't know if it's your real name or not, but it's amazing, man. Okay, Brent crude oil. Okay. Okay, so like Armin, you have to choose between like that you want them both, because you can go for Brent like this, okay, or you can go for this one, crude, right? So I'm not really sure which one. Like I guess, okay, I guess this one, right? So UK oil. I click on it, but let me know if this is the one that you are looking at, that you want me to go over. Meanwhile, as Armin is confirming that this is the one, let me add FTM, Gala, and GMT. I already have a big list, but let me see if FTM is here. FTM, Gala, and GMT. You know what? I'll simply add it here, GMT. Yeah, I previously had it, and in FTM and Gala, right? I guess I have Gala. Yeah, that's it. So let's drag them upward. Okay, I'll go over them after I go over Litecoin and XRP. We also have Doge, Matic, many. But like, since we have a lot, I prefer that you guys give me your opinions. Okay, okay, dear Endless Love, you are more than welcome at any time you would like. It would be an honor to have you on board, and thank you for the trust. Armin, okay, Armin, let's do it. So UK oil, I guess it's very similar to US oil, right? So you can see it, very similar to this one, a falling channel on H4 and H1 on daily time frame around a support zone right there, 71 till around 75. So very similar to US oil. On H4, we have been inside this big range. Let me go over it quickly. That's it. Okay, So now as we trade lower, I'll be looking for buy setups here, and as we trade higher, I'll be looking for setups here. We're inside the range. So now we'll be trading the range upward and downward until eventually it's broken upward and downward, right? And meanwhile, I've been bearish since here. Impulse correction, very, very similar to US oil, and even this big candle, we also had it previously on US oil. If you go to H1, you can draw a trend line, and that's it. Also, very the same comments for US oil. I'm waiting for something like this to form, like a more consolidation, because we have a trend line right there. Anyway, let me draw it, and here we go. Okay. And as a falling broadening wedge, make this one a little bit like this, and then go for all the way down. That's it. So I'm waiting for something like this to form as a consolidation, and then I'll be selling on its break downward, expecting a bearish movement. And of course, as we approach this area here, the lower bound of the range and the lower trend line, I'll be looking for this buy. Okay. Now, let's go for the crypto market for the ones that Bali mentioned. Okay, we've done these ones already. Okay, on Litecoin, I always keep an eye on Litecoin to feel the overall market. Also, like, of course, I keep an eye on US 500, on the XY, USDT dominance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin to feel the market. Anyway, on Litecoin, we have been trading inside these floors, if you want to call it, the 50, 100, and 150. So price seems to be respecting the round numbers in terms of 50, right? And of course, the 200 would be right there. For now, we rejected the 50. We traded higher. We are currently around the 100, right? And if you break it higher, expect further bullish movement to the 150 or 135 to 150 this zone. Meanwhile, if you go to H4 or to daily, we have been inside this big impulse movement. So if we break below this channel, and like to be specific, below this zone, if we break below this zone, we'll be expecting the correction to start on like on this one. Meanwhile, we are bullish, but we are struggling now around the 100. If we break the 100 in an aggressive manner, we'll be expecting further bullish movement till around the 150. That's it for Litecoin. For XRP, very similar movement on weekly time frame. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, cheers. Okay, on XRP, we have been bearish, and we know that the buyers are taking over bit after bit because, anyway, let me delete everything and show you. Because previously we had big impulse movements pushing price lower, a big impulse movement that's smaller than this one, and look at this one now, flat, right? So if you compare these ones, you can already see the shift in momentum in action. That's it. So big and steep, small and steep, small and flat. Okay, but of course it would be confirmed by a break above the previous major high, which is this one, which is lining up with a very clean resistance zone. You can clearly see price has been respecting this one for a long period of time. If you break it upward, the bulls will take over from a long-term perspective. We'll be expecting a shift in momentum from bearish to bullish. Meanwhile, I've been looking for buy setups around the support zone. Of course, if we take it to the 0.2, it would be even better at a cheaper rate, at an attractive price. So I've been looking for this buy, and here we go. After we broke above these ones, of course, you can also zoom in to lower time frames and so on. But for now, on XRP, if you break this low downward, we'll be expecting a bearish movement. I have my alert right there, and I have my alert right there in case I want a daily close above this area. Once we have this close, the bulls will take over medium term and we'll be expecting a bullish movement. But for the bulls to take over long term, I want to break above this 0.6, where I also have my alert. Okay, now let me go for the ones that Bali requested, FTM, Gala, and GMT, and that would be it for the session, okay? GMT, FTM. Okay, so we had this demand zone previously 0.05 to 0.15, also the round number 0.1. Previously, the bulls took over shorter by breaking above the zone right there. And now I'm waiting for the bulls to take over long term. Okay, let me move these ones aside. Anyway, here we go. Okay, we rejected the 0.6 lately. So I'm waiting for a daily close above the zone again for the bulls to take over long term, and then I'll be expecting this movement. Meanwhile, if we trade lower, as you see from my alert, I'll be looking for busted ups right there. Okay, so this is a very straightforward one around the resistance, waiting for its break, and then we'll be going for a long-term buy, or wait for a retest. We'll be looking for buy around the lower bound. If we zoom into H4 time frame, for the correction to start or to expect further bearish movement, we need to see a break below the zone. If we break it downward, expect bearish movement, then I'll be looking for a buy right here. Meanwhile, as mentioned, I'll be waiting for a break above the zone as a daily candle close above it. But from a shorter term perspective, we've got this channel right there. So if we break above this, the bulls will take over short term, but to me it's a skip. And even though I have my alert already, but it's a skip because we are still around the resistance. I'm waiting for a daily close above this zone, above these wicks, and in this case, I'll be going I'll be going for a long again. Okay, on FTM. Okay. We have a demand zone right there, and price rejected this demand. On daily time frame, okay, let me delete this one. I've personally bought a little bit here and then added more right there and added even more right there. Okay, so like I divide my crypto holdings or like portfolio in three chunks or three bags. So for example, if let's say if I want to enter, I want to buy FTM with $150. Okay, so like this is my budget that I'm planning to buy FTM with. I enter. I divide it into three chunks or three entries. So 50, 50, 50, right? So like let's say in this particular case, I went for a 50, 50, and then the third 50 right there. Okay. Okay, so previously the bulls took over short term. This is why I've added the first one. Here we go. And then we have been bullish since then. You can now draw a trend line. I guess it's broken. Yeah, it's broken. So now on the retest of this area, as you can see from my alert, I get a little bit higher. So as price approaches this area, I'll be looking for a buy because it's a previous support now, previous resistance turned support, this entire zone right here. And I'm expecting a bullish movement till the 0.9. That's why I have my alert right there as we approach this area. I want to know. On lower time frames, okay, so like once we had once we had this break, I personally booked profit, and I'm waiting to get in again. And anyway, you can see it all from my alerts. Waiting for this retest, waiting for price to get to this area, and I booked profit because it's in blue. So like for those who know me previously, if it's in blue, like which means that I've already booked profit. If it's in red, which means like I'm currently holding. I'm waiting for this break again to like to buy again. Okay, the last one for the requests is Okay, Gala, yes, yeah, Gala. Okay, perfect. My connection seems to be a bit slow. Okay, on Gala, very similar movement. For now, it's in blue, so I also booked profit for this one. Rejected this all-time low and so on. Boost took over short term previously, and currently trading inside this channel. If we break below this zone, then the correction will start. When we get lower, I'll be looking for buy stops right here. That's why you see my alert around this previous major low and this area and the demand zone as well. And I'm personally booked profit already, and I'm planning to buy again Gala if we break above the zone. That's why you see my alert right here above this major high. For now, we are bullish, of course, and we can also go for this one right here. And like if we break above this high, you can expect one more bullish movement inside the resistance zone. But like, since I'm already holding too much, I'm happy with the returns for this one, and I'm planning to get in again. So if you go, for example, and see my red list, I'm already holding 80 assets between, of course, stocks, crypto, and forex. Okay, so like for stocks and crypto, my approach is on spot. And like when it comes to forex, my approach is margin trades or leverage or CFD, where I go for 1% risk, 3% reward, and so on. While for spot trading, I go for crypto and stocks. I divide my portfolio into like several several assets. So I've been talking for like 70 minutes straight, so 80 minutes almost. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to cover a specific altcoin or like any instrument, let me know. If not, that would be it for today, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one. I'll wait for 2 minutes. If no question pop up, we will end the session. Cheers, everyone. I'm not really sure if you can hear me, but I guess my connection is still doing good. Okay, R Shangel, I never heard of this one honestly, but let me try and find it. R I never heard of it. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm sorry, can't really say much. What it's zeros now. I'm not sure if it's this one. Okay. I'm not really sure if it's this one because. Okay, let me check. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me try this one, spooky. Okay, I'm sorry, can't really say this one. Okay, small capital trader. What do you think of like dollar of the? You mean the XY, right? US dollar. I've shared my view. Like at the beginning of the session, I always start with the XY. So now when we end it, like you can go back and watch the recording. Okay. Okay, first, like fantastic, Armin. Glad like to see you here today. I'm happy like with interaction through you today. I go live here on Trading Nut every like if you want, like every first Tuesday of every month, right? So like hopefully I see you again next month, the first Tuesday of it. But like, of course, like at any time, if you have any questions, like and like you want to like ask me anything, you can always go for my trading view, and then you can click on like send a message. You can find a button right here there. Actually, you can send a message right there, or you can also click on any idea, just like this, and you can scroll down and you can find like the Telegram channel, the website, or you can also find it anywhere right there. Or if you want like to DM me on Instagram, you can go for, let me see if it's, yeah, this is it. Okay, so you can go for Rich the Signalist. Okay, so the exact same name, which is here, but like add Rich before it. Okay, so you can DM me anytime you would like as well there. Or of course, you can go to the website, to my website, and scroll back all the way down, and you can write your message right there. Okay. Yeah, I also went over ETH. Went over ETH a couple of like minutes ago, so you can watch the recording as well, just like after you are done. Okay. And don't forget, guys, as mentioned previously, like for those who would like to join the community, which is here, RichTL, don't forget to use the coupon trading nut for $100 off trading nut right there. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm happy to see you guys here, and I'm happy like to see new names, new faces. Best of luck, and wishing you a wonderful fab ahead, and I'll see you hopefully next time. Thank you so much, Cam, for the opportunity again and again every single month. And don't forget, guys, to like this video to help it reach as many traders as possible. Best of luck, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one. Cheers.